Hey Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, comments, the generous donations in all forms, everything. I appreciate it all. Let's go ahead. We're going to ring this bell. We're going to clear out the energy, and then we'll see what the message the Spirit has for us this evening or whenever you happen to come across this. I feel like you're going in a new direction, but this was like something that maybe somebody told you about before, but back then you were like, no, either it wasn't the right time, hey, Red Violet, or it didn't feel right, or you felt that you didn't want to get involved at that time because you weren't sure if this was being spiritually led. And you didn't want to just go there because somebody said, you should do this. Because, like I said, you take your spirituality very seriously. Hey, chosen. So that's why you didn't take that opportunity before, because you didn't want to jump on the boat only to find that took you way out to the sea and there was no way to get back. But I feel like this same opportunity has come back around today, or it's going to come back around in the near future, but it's not going to come from the same source. It's going to come from the horse itself, so to speak. Like if it was a part of the government, somebody told you about this, but you said, no, I don't even want to go there. But now this opportunity is coming from, let's just say that it's the government. It's coming from them. Hey, Shaylin. Hey, J. Mike. Bottom of the deck. The devil. And see, this can be like a contract. Doesn't necessarily have to be something bad, but behind it, I feel like with the devil and the 10 of Wands, you were very wary of just jumping in because you didn't want this to be something that you got involved in and it was stress. So I can understand that. But like I said, now this time it's different. This time it's something that is nurturing. This time it's something coming, like I said, coming from the horse's mouth itself. You don't have to worry about, if this is going to get you wrapped up in some type of illegal scheme, Ponzi scheme or something like that, because this is the truth. This is a contract that helps you. This is somebody that wants to, either this is somebody that wants to work with you. This is some sort of partnership that's there to help you heal. Hey, Earth sign. Yeah, like I said before, you did not take this opportunity before. You was like, no. But this time coming back around, like I said, this is from the one who's controlling all of it. This is the horse's mouth itself. And this opportunity is something that is long term. Something that is just going to be around, for a while. Hey, K Hypsee, it's spinning. It shouldn't be spinning. Yeah, this is something that, it's like you with the 10 of Cups and the Judgment, this is something that makes you very happy. Thank you, J. Mike. K Hypsee, it just may be yours. Try and refresh. But this is something that makes you very happy. This is confirmation. This is a judgment call, or decision that you're going to get. This is like really good news. This is something that makes you happy. Yeah, because you used your logic, you thought about things, and you decided you're going to take this leap. Okay. I'm glad that you're back, K Hyphy. Hi, one, Brazy. How are you? Good to see you too. Hey, Malcolm. Hey, Patrick. Yeah, this is something that takes away, the tower and hardship. This is something that you know what? This is like your wishes have been answered. This is something like, you don't have to worry about money problems any longer. This is almost like I kind of feel like it's a big payout, baby. It's a big payout. You don't have to worry about money problems any longer. Robbing Paul to pay Peter. This is something that's going to be guaranteed, and it's going to happen quickly. You're going to get some information, and it's going to be all good. It's all good in the neighborhood, baby. It's all good in the neighborhood. This is something that you deserve. For all the bullshit that you had to go through, this is something that you deserve. And I feel like you are going to be very appreciative of this opportunity, of this partnership. Hey, Tivon. This is something that you're going to be very appreciative. Because you know what? Like I said, you didn't jump on this the first time you heard about it. You said, no, I'm not going to do all that. And you said, hey, let me think about this, because you didn't want to just jump in there. You were using your noggin just because everybody else was jumping on the boat. And they was like, come on, get on this boat. You was like, no, because there's a lot of mother truckers already on that boat. And what if y'all get all the way out there and that shit sink? I don't want to be on that boat. Hey, Saida, how are you? But this is something that's going to work. I feel like you have everything that you need to make this work. And like I said, it's going to be a celebration. It's almost going to be like, like something happens magically. It's going to be a celebration. You're going to hear some really good news. Like, I don't know, you had a long lost cousin or uncle or grandparent or great grandparent that that you found out that this was somebody you were completely unaware of, and you found out that they left you a cold $1.5 million. And one day the attorney calls you and it's like, is this collector so and so? And you're like, yeah, who is this? And it's like, this is so and so attorney for such and such and such and such. Who? Such and such. Was you related to so and so? Yeah. Well, I'm here to let you know that you have an insurance policy that finally paid out, and your portion is $1,500,000. You're like, first you're like, is this a joke? They're like, no. I'll be there in the mornings to sign these papers, and give you this check. You like, is it morning yet? Is it morning? The next morning comes and they show up and they give you this check and your hand is trembling and shit. You're like, oh my gosh, you deposited in the bank and you waiting. And the bank says, okay, you got, because of the size of the check, you got to wait 5 business days. You wait 10 business days and you finding out that the shit is real. It's going to be something fantastic like that. If it's something like that, Don't forget about your girl. I was the one who told you about that shit. If y'all going on vacation, take me with you. Hey, Kim Diamond, how are you, sweetie? Hi, the blue star. Yes, it's something like I said, you didn't want to just jump on the boat with everybody else. You waited because you didn't want that shit to come back and bite you. Hey, Patrick, how are you? And you making sure that you looked at everything closely and using your discernment was the best thing you could have done. So now there is no fear. You don't have any fear of anything bad happening, of you feeling any type of pain or anything, because you were very wise in how you decided to move forward. Your curiosity was very balanced. You were very balanced in everything that you did and said. You just didn't jump the gun. But I feel like this is something that if you just recently applied for something, I feel like it's going to be a thumbs up. It's going to be a go. If you just recently, or like I said, or it could be a surprise that's coming in that's letting you know that you know whatever you were trying to do or whatever you was thinking of is something that's going to be to your benefit. I'm telling you, you're getting ready to get a wonderful positive message that is getting ready to move you forward. Something about, instead of you experiencing loss, that wheel of fortune is now going to be turning in your favor. Like I said, no longer having to rob Paul just to pay Peter. And you know what? This is something that you always thought about. This is something that you always dreamed of. The life. What was the name of that show where that guy was like, we're touring the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I think that was the name of the show. The lifestyles of the rich and famous, or the homes of the rich and famous. Something like that. You'll be able to live that life that you always dreamt. Yes. Because whatever it is, it's like you're being led to a peaceful transition. And I feel like it's because, you know what, you were using you were using your intuition. You were using your intuition, and your intuition was guiding you. It was very strong, and it was guiding you in the right direction. I kind of feel like, had you did this or applied for this or got this, whatever this is, earlier, it would not have been the same. It wouldn't have. You wouldn't have appreciated it as much. You know, you wouldn't have been able to, you wouldn't have, I feel like you wouldn't have appreciated it as much. But now it's almost like, with this exploration and this teamwork, it's like now you can really see how things are working out in your favor. Something about, you didn't just jump the gun and get yourself in a position. You led yourself. You were very balanced, and yeah, very, very balanced. You said, okay, I'm going. It's like you deciding that you were going to put in the hard work, get whatever it was first, and then and then allow God to do the rest of the work for you. Like God said, if you put one step forward, I'm gonna put two forward on your behalf. You did that because you weren't being lazy. You weren't trying to uh, trick anybody or do anything shisty. You wanted to do it by the book. Thank you so much, Red Violet. Hey, LP. And now this is the time for you to celebrate. This is the time for, this is, like I said, this is something that gets you on board. This is something that makes it so that you are solid. You are solid. You know, just by, like I said, some type of action came. You know, and very stable. Some type of action came in, and it made it so that you were able to take this action and make things very stable for yourself, to balance things out for you. And I feel like, you know what? You did the right thing by not just jumping in there, because you wanted to make sure that you didn't have to later on be up in court. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing. You didn't want to do all that. You waited, because you said to yourself, what is for me is for me. Yes. And because you had courage, clarity came. The Ace of Sword, the truth is here. Because you did the right thing. When it called for you to do the right thing, you used your intuition, and you knew that what was for you would be for you. And that opportunity came right back around. When it came back around, that's whenever you knew, this is the time. This is the time for me to take this step. Yes. And like I said, you're getting a yes. Whether it's an application that you put in, whether it was, you know, like I said, the attorney calls and you have this relative you never knew about or whatever. Yeah, the answer is yes, you're getting it. The fish don't fry in the kitchen. Beans don't burn on the grill. Okay. Something about now we're up at bat. It's your turn at bat. That's the song I'm hearing. It's your turn at bat. Like I say, everybody gets a turn. Some people have their turn when they're in their 20s, and then they go way up there, and then they peter out, and everything seems to drizzle out by the time they in their 40s. Some people are in their 40s and they go way up there, and then they drizzle out, and then everything seems to peter out when they're in their 60s. Some people don't get their turn until they 60, and they go way up there, and they just stay up there until the end of their life. Whatever it is, whatever time span you're in, this is your turn. This is your turn. Yeah, the time of you having to worry about things, you know, the stresses of today and tomorrow, you know, those times are over. Those times are over. You don't have to worry about something else popping up that you wasn't thinking about, or somebody trying to deceive you or something like that. That's over too. That is over too. Like I said, this is your turn at bat. You getting that stability, and you're going to be so inspired. You're going to be so happy when this comes in for you. You know what, you with, like I said, this happened, you know, this opportunity presented itself some time ago, but you said you wasn't ready to do that back then. Hey, Behaving, how are you? Because you didn't want, like I said, you didn't want to have to be in conflict with the person who held, whether it was the purse strings or made the final decision, or anything like that, having to go to court or anything like that. But now it's different. Now it's different. You know, you are able to dream. You are able to see things now because you were in a very solid position yourself. Yes, you're getting your wish fulfillment when it comes to your prosperity. You are getting your wish fulfillment. And let me tell you something. Yes, you were getting ready to enjoy being able to pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue. It's almost like, you getting an extra, you finding out that you're getting like an extra $1,200 a month to add to what you already getting. Yes, you know how much that would change your life? That would be a wonderful thing. It might put you in another tax bracket, but you don't give a shit. And this is after a time of having to wait patiently. You waited on God. That was the best thing you could have done. Wait on God. God was going to make a way out of no way. And here we are today. Yes, the blue star, the meek shall inherit the earth. Yep, just got to put in the work. What's the message? What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Yes, you know what? Like I said, you're you are a person that is, you're not going to just jump on board. When you hear about a certain partnership or whatever, like I said, you were the person that wanted to exercise some caution because you knew making the wrong choice could cost you. Whether it is, cost you something from, a fall from grace from God, cost you something financially, cost your reputation, cost you your job, cost you. You knew that you didn't want to just jump in there. You said, I'm gonna go slow and steady, because slow and steady wins the race. If God says God's going to present it, and God said, okay, here it is. You waited, it's coming right back around. I'm letting you know this is the time for you. Yeah. Because like I said, it wouldn't have been the same before. It would not have been the same before. It could have been something that you didn't really appreciate. You didn't really take advantage of the way that you're going to be able to take advantage of it now. And not take advantage of it in a negative way, but be able to benefit. It was something that you wouldn't have been able to benefit from before. And that's what you were, and plus you was afraid of the repercussions, because all it takes is one action in the wrong direction, and that can cost us everything. Hey, Devery. One step in the wrong direction and it can cost us everything. That's like the decision to rob a bank or don't rob a bank. The decision to stick them up or don't stick them up. The decision to push somebody off the cliff or make sure that you say, hey, get back. You're getting too close to the edge. One wrong decision can change our life forever. And you decided not to jump just because everybody else was jumping. Like they say, all money ain't good money. But now this was the time. This was the time. And this was the time. And it's working out for you. Yes. All because you decided to go within and wait. You told yourself that if it was meant to be, you'll see it again. The opportunity will repeat itself again. And now you see it again. And now you're going to go ahead and go for it. Now is the time to invest in whatever it is. Hey, High Priestess, how are you? Oh, and this is Sweet Spot e-magazine. If you happen to see this on any other channel, please report it. What's the message? Thank you so much, High Priestess. What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? Yep, I'm telling you, you're about to get some really good news. There's going to be a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Come on and celebrate. That's what I'm hearing. You're not even going to, like I said, you weren't even thinking about this collaboration. You wasn't studying this. You wasn't thinking about this. This was the last thing on your mind. And then it presented itself. Exactly. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. Oh, y'all know I can't sing. Right, the blue star. You just have to be quiet to hear. Exactly. Something about some type of deception. You didn't want to lie to yourself. And you didn't want to lie to anybody else. This is why this is the best time. Because whenever it came, you didn't want to be easy come, easy go. Or you take this opportunity and then they find out, oh, you committed a crime and then you got to get locked up for some shit like that. All because you didn't see the red flags. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. You didn't want to do anything that was considered any part of deceitful, because that's not how you roll. If anything about us, we're going to be honest, even if it means that we're not rolling in the dough like everybody else. But whenever the po-pos come and everybody had to get the clink clink, we're the ones that's like, damn, with our cell phone filming it all. Look at this. Damn, the barber, the butcher, the candlestick maker, they all got the clink clink. Yeah, like I said, all money ain't good money. We ain't trying to deceive nothing and nobody. We're trying to live the right way. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else from this deck? I guess that's it from this deck. Okay. Yeah, but I feel like somebody was not expecting this. Not at all. Not expecting this. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, this was coming in like, I want to say a thief in the night, but damn. This is something that came in fast. And this is, like I said, this was like a great relationship, whether it was a relationship or not. But this is something that's going to work. This is something that's going to put you in a position that you've never been in before. And it's going to be wonderful. You're going to be so happy. You are going to be so happy. Yes, I feel like this is death and rebirth. And it's also justice at the same time. Death of the old, rebirth of the new, and it's justice for you. Hold on, y'all. Feel like I got a hair in my eye. Hair, eyelash, something. What's the message, Spirit? Hey, Brenda, how are you, sweetie? Thank you. Yeah, I feel like, with this Two of Swords, I really do feel like this is something that you really did not see coming. This is something that you really did not see coming. Or it may have even been something that you rejected previously. Because you wanted to make sure that you was always protected, And you see how you see how somebody else has benefited from this, But it also gives you the opportunity to get the help that you need. Whether this is health-wise, whether this is, I'm not trying to be funny, but like this could be like if you need to have some type of surgery, if you need to have some type of counseling, if you need to have some type of assistance, you can do that with this. Yes, because this is something that brings clarity, something that brings answers, as opposed to just being in the dark, trying to make way the best way you can. What else, Spirit? Yes, cup runneth over. Yep. And it takes, because right now people may be feeling really pressured. And it's funny, we got the 10 of wands, and we just had 66 and 44, 66 in the chat and 44, but now we got 70 in the chat. So 66 and 44, that was like, well, that was 110, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. This is something that I feel like you can invest in, and this is something that's gonna go round and round and round. This is gonna be something that's gonna be like long term. You can save. It's like you can save a portion of this. I don't know why I'm feeling like it's a lot of money. This is something that's you can save a portion of this long term. And this, like I said, this is something that there are a lot of people that maybe be competing for this, or somebody, there's a whole lot of people that try and get this, but this was afforded to you. God is speaking directly to you. What's the message, Spirit? What else? Good, Brenda. What's the message? Yes, exactly. The Blue Master. Blue Star. Sorry, you know what? These glasses. Keep your thoughts clear. It matters more than you think. Exactly. Yep. Justice for you. This is what you've been deserving. Like I said, this is just for you. This is just for you. This is a decision that was made in your favor. And I kind of feel like maybe somebody's kind of stressing because right now maybe their money is a little funny. But this is a decision that was made in your favor. And like I said, somebody was trying to figure out how they was going to make it through, what their next step was going to be. It could have been somebody was close to, not receiving, close to homelessness, close to losing everything, but then all of a sudden something opened up that was specifically for you. Your present. Yeah. And that way it like I said, the old has died and there's a new rebirth. This could be like even having to talk to the doctor, and getting this, or a brand new bill of health or something like that, or getting you having the money to go to the doctor to have this, type of surgery or whatever it is. This, like I said, this is something that you wasn't even expecting, that came in all of a sudden, for the best thing for you, whether it's a new relationship or whatever it is. But God is so good. It's like one of your ancestors was specifically working this out for you. I'm seeing like one of your ancestors up in heaven negotiating on your behalf. Hey, OI May, how are you? You know, making sure that you had everything that you needed because you closed cycles. You worked on you, and now it's time for you to be healed completely. It's time for you to get your complete wish fulfillment, everything that you want, because you know what? You have worked, you've exhibited, you've led your life just by using love. You know, you wasn't trying to stiff nobody. You wasn't trying to blame nobody. You wasn't trying to do, I would get somebody back. You wasn't doing none of that. You was leading your life with love, with honesty, with integrity. What's the message? And like I said, I see one of your ancestors, negotiating on your behalf, moving the pieces around so that it fit in your favor. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God. Yes, some good news is coming. Something that you wasn't even expecting is coming. Thank you, God. So whenever you go to sleep tonight, just be so thankful. Be thankful. Hey, Sonny, how are you? I am well. How are you doing tonight? Okay. All right. What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? Anything else from this deck? Thank you. Yeah, this is something that, I feel like, this is something that some type of leader, some type of we got the King of Wands. This could have to do with the military. This could have to do with work. This could have to do with, a number of things, somebody that was a leader or something. But whatever it is, your intuition was guiding you and I feel like your intuition was guiding you, but also your ancestors were guiding you. This is something that you deserve. This was like your will. This was your final payout. And I won't say final payout like, you're at the final resting space or place or anything. But this is, like I said, this is something that you wasn't even expecting. And whenever you was talking about it, whether it's an application, you was honest. You was honest. You wasn't trying to fudge the numbers or nothing like that. What's the message, Spirit? But you didn't see this coming. Like they said, this came from total left field, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing, that especially if we've been living right. Anything else from this deck, Spirit? Especially if we have been living right. Thank you. Yeah, something is over. Whether that is stress, worrying about some shit, suffering, depression, that's over. It's a done deal. Like I said, this got your name all over it. This is specifically for you. I don't know why I'm feeling, something is coming to calm this whole situation down. Yeah, these people are at war. Something is coming to calm that whole situation down. What's the message? Anything else? Anything else, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah, after a time of you looking at something in a totally different light, because like I said, you didn't just jump on the bandwagon. You said, let me wait. But then this opportunity came back around, then it's a solid opportunity. Something came back around, and you're going to get a positive response, which this positive response is going to propel you forward. And this could be a big payout, what you get. That could be a big payout. But whatever it is, it's very stable. We got the Wheel of Fortune right here. We got the Ace of Wands right here, and something from the past. This could be something from the past that's coming back around positively. And like I said, this is something that, you've invested in. It's almost like, let me see if I can give a good example. Let me see if I can think of a good example. You know how those people say, like, who was it I was talking to? Addie. And you know how they have those websites of, claim money that you forgot about or whatever. And some people think, nah, it's a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup. But this one is not a setup. It's almost like, because you didn't claim it before. And now you get this big payout whenever you do. Like maybe the company had owed you for the time that you, not just this check, but for each year or each month you didn't claim it, they had to pay you interest on top of that. Because, there's certain states, like I know what the state of Alaska, like if you're involved in an accident, and the longer it takes them to pay you the money, like if you were involved in an accident, you were injured, the longer it takes them to pay you that money, they got to pay you interest on top of that. Yeah. So it's almost like maybe somebody didn't want to tell you about something, or they was trying to keep it to themselves or something, but now somebody left, and now things are starting to balance itself out. Or you know what? It's almost like before, I feel like hey, Addie. Oh, thank you. But I feel like maybe you weren't in a position before. It wasn't meant for you to have it before, because had you had it before, it's almost like somebody that was in your life at that time, they would have did something to fuck it up for you. They would have said, "Oh no, that person da 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 da." But now that you've walked away, things are totally different for you. And like I said, your ancestors, somebody was willing and dealing on your behalf. They was making sure you had everything that you need. Everything that you need. All because, like I said, when we live a godly life, a righteous life, when we go by, and that don't mean that you can't cuss, you cannot drink, you can't get drunk, it don't mean that you can't cuss, because you see, I cuss all the damn time. Doesn't mean that you can't dance, you can't enjoy life. It just means that, you have to keep yourself trying to live a righteous life, doing what's right. Even if it's a hard thing to do, that's what you do. You do what is right. There is no excuse. We don't have to try and sneak and get away with nothing. No. Because God is watching us. God is, even when we think we doing this little white lies, God is watching all of that. Even the white lie is a lie. So we have to refrain from any of that, because it's all going to come back around. It will all come back around. And then we'll be sitting there like, damn, I don't know why I even felt like I should have said that, or I should have said this, or whatever. But it's like whenever we exhibit, who we truly are, and we sit down and we are not afraid to wear our crown, and we live, and act like God wants us to, and we are truly loving the way God loves us, everything balances itself out. God finds a way to protect us even when we don't see it. But now I feel like we are in the place, we are in the space that we can appreciate it and really, use it to, our advantage. Yes, this is wonderful. So, yep, we are in a place where we're going towards something that I feel like we've invested in, and leaving the past behind. We are not ever going to have to worry about being out in the cold ever. Like I said, there's this has been this decision has been based, this decision is in our favor. I don't know why I'm feeling really excited, like I want to talk 1,000 miles a minute, although I know I can't, and even if I did, y'all be like, what the fuck is she saying? What else, Spirit? Heaven on earth, yes. What's the message, Spirit? Anything else? Thank you. We will be celebrating. It is going to be a celebration. But keep this to yourself. Keep this to yourself. Don't go out and telling everybody, guess what, y'all? I just got $1 million. Hey, I got $1 million. Guess who's the millionaire? Guess who's the millionaire? I'm going on a cruise. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Because then you're going to see everybody. Hey, what's up, cuz? Oh my gosh, I haven't. You're going to be like, who is this? We haven't talked in 40 years. They're going to be like, well, I was just calling to see how you was doing. That type of shit. Don't do that. Just keep it to yourself. Shh, mum's the word. But celebrate. Do something wild and crazy. Go to the store, buy yourself a new pair of tennis shoes, or decide that you're gonna, use some of that vacation time and take yourself on a cruise, or do whatever. But just, don't get all hog wild and be like, yeah, I'm rich, bitch. Yeah, because then you won't be rich for very long. We're going to pull some from the stack. What else, Spirit? What else? What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Yep. Look here. Pay raise. Whoa. Yes, this is wonderful. And listen, somebody regrets taking you for granted. They regret taking you for granted. Oh, well. They should have thought about that shit when they was doing it. What else, Spirit? Anything else? Yes. A lot of sun energy. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Yes. The answer is yes. Now somebody wants you to unblock them. And that answer is no. You could hear something on Friday. What else, Spirit? Anything else? Anything else? Yep. And everyone gets checked out. Everyone gets checked out. But whatever's happening, it is in the midst. It is in the midst. What's the message? Anything else? Oh, I just saw the 4444. Maybe this is something that was on your vision board. But whatever it was, it's because you believe in God. And You know what? You are a seer. What else, Spirit? What else? What else? You know, I want y'all to start before you go to bed, before you go to sleep. As you get into the bed, before you go to sleep, there are these meditation videos. Doxy, Dauschy. And you'll know it's Doxy because you'll see like a little picture of like a Dachshund, you know, one of those Dachshund dogs. But it's Doxy, Dauschy. It's a whole bunch of videos that, you know, that it's a guided meditation. And you just put it on, let it play, you know, of course, turn the volume down some so you can fall asleep. And then that way you can help manifest. Start listening to those. Okay? You deserve the life that you want. You deserve to be happy. We all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to manifest. Because sometimes we want to manifest, but some of us don't know how. So it's almost like, you know, it's not just listening to the videos, but it's also the action behind it. Like I said, God says if you put one step forward on your own behalf, God will put two on your own behalf. Yep. You may have to hide for a little bit whenever people start to figure out your good news. They may not hear it, but they're going to start figuring it out because they're going to see you come up and just handle it with dignity. Change is here. Change is coming. Change is coming. Anything else, Spirit? Somebody is going to be so jealous. That's too damn bad. You know, and something about we're going to have to get whatever mess somebody put themselves in or whatever mess we put ourselves in, we know we're going to have to save ourselves. Thank you. Thank you. You know, y'all, I love y'all. I love y'all. So anything that I feel like I've done to elevate myself, I'm going to let you guys know too, because there's more than enough for all of us. More than enough for all of us. Hey, Realizations on the road. How are you? Yes, raise that vibration. Absolutely. Anything else? Anything else, Spirit? Yeah. What is this? Something about God's greatest gift? And unconditional love. That's what God has for us. And we all need to have just one love. All of us loving each other. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it right there. We're getting ready to swing the pendulum. See what the message is. Earlier, it was maybe. And that doesn't mean no. It just means not right now. So let's see what the message, what the answer is now. Okay? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes, y'all. All right, y'all. You know I love you all. Each and every one of you. Thank you so very much I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I look forward to seeing you in the morning. Don't forget, let's all do our meditation tonight, tomorrow night, the next night, because there's more than enough meditation videos for all different parts of our life, because we can manifest anything that we want. And I want everyone to have a wonderful life, just like I want to have a wonderful life. Okay? I love you all, and we'll see each other in the morning. Good night.